Here. Hello, hello, welcome. Sorry. Okay. So the topics that I want to talk about this week are, of course, the way that our social media huddles are is we start on a topic and it goes off on a tangent. That is completely okay because this is what you're looking for. This is what you're needing. I always come with the topic, but it can go in any tangent. So, how I want to ask you a question, and it can be rhetorical, but it can also be discussion. How are you making a difference in your community as a real estate agent? What are you doing? Okay, volunteer with the city. What else do you do? What do you do with them?
Helping with events, welcoming people that come to the events, and it's really gonna start ramping up because the calendar for the summer has come out, so. With the events set up and, welcoming people as they come in, guiding them, letting them know regular activities are taking place throughout the event. Making people in the front way.
What was the process to becoming a volunteer with the city? What was that journey like?
Oh, you're showing up to the event initially, and, you know, like, oh, this is really cool, I like it, and, you know, a lot of people are coming out, and, you know, what can I help with? I just wanted to help and get involved.
Right, okay.
So I talked with the organizer and just let her know, and she was like, oh, yeah, we can use you.
What kind of timeline was that? Was it 1 month, 3 months, one meeting, 6 months, 6 years?
Right.
What was that process like?
Maybe a month at that.
A month?
You know, we go to a couple of events that took place, and then, you know, we were like, favors and join them and everything like that, and we were like, we could do something to help, you know.
Yeah.
Always use extra hands, we thought.
Absolutely. So what Tracy has done is she's gone in with the city as a volunteer. So she knows everybody of everybody there in Snellville. And she is one of the go-to volunteers for the city. And so anything that needs to be done, any of the events that are happening, the calendar events is full for the summer, and she is there every step of the way, just as somebody who is there to help out. And then she accidentally shows up one day wearing her Century 21 name tag. That's all she has to do. She doesn't even, she accidentally wears it every time.
Every time.
So that's what she's been doing. All right, Miss Tamara, how are you involved in the community? Okay. Okay. You don't have to do it the way that Tracy did.
I did a bucket, you know, do bucket runs and different things like that, but I don't. Yeah, so that's what I'm just trying to learn. That's why I think maybe
Okay.
see what you guys.
Okay, so I see, because you're such a people person, you're such a giving personality that, you know, people are going to be drawn to you. The more you give, the more people are going to draw to you. So Tracy's the exact same way. The more she gives, the more people are drawn to her, which is what we want. We want to be the go-to expert when it comes to, hey, anything that we need done in Buckhead, Tamara knows how to get it done. Because we've seen her take on all of these other tasks, and she just did it with a smile, and she did it with ease, and she was so graceful with it. You know what? I bet she can handle this too. We need her help with this. So that's how Tracy became one of the go-to volunteers, was she was just always there to help out.
But I think where my confusion's coming in, I help out at Morehouse, my son is at Morehouse, but that's not Buckhead. So I'm everywhere. I help out in New York Church, and I feed Kenyans and send over things to Kenya. I do things, but it's not in Buckhead.
That's okay.
So I'm all over the place helping, but to be strategic about it, one place, that's what I need to start doing. So with the mile run, I mean, the 5K runs, something that I want to do. I just found out this weekend that tomorrow, just come on over, we're starting this, blah, blah, blah. And then now I'm going to specifically target Buckhead. I wasn't. I was just all over the place.
So is this a new pillar for you?
Yes, it will be.
Okay, so what Tamara's talking about is she has been in different parts of the city helping out, and she's very involved in the things that she is involved with, but they're not in a place that she lives. So I asked you earlier, you live in Buckhead. and why. And you were talking about the things to do there, and it's right there. It's the happening center of everything
Yes.
for, for how you view Atlanta, and everything is happening there in Buckhead. So how can we turn that center into dollar signs, which are essentially real estate sales? So just being involved in the community and just jumping in like, hey, how can I help out? Like, where can I volunteer? Anytime that you see any big community events, the 5K runs, the charity events, the ribbon cuttings, see where there's a volunteer tab where you can sign up to volunteer. Then the more your name starts showing up in places, this probably the same person or the same group of people sees the same email addresses and be like, I've seen this name before. I remember her.
That's how I see it. I guess I find that part of the places you are, strategic areas,
Mhm.
and that is good to do. And it's close to you, but at some point or another, you're somewhere else. And that's what, with agents, we don't say no, especially if it's a large group. Morehouse is a large group.
Right. So
Morehouse
keep that
housing
as
is-
one of your pillars.
But it's not, so at that
That's
point,
okay.
New Birth Christian Church
Mhm.
is a large church, but it's not in Buckhead. You see what I'm saying? So
You said it's in Lithonia?
it's in Lithonia.
Okay.
Mhm.
So where do you want the bulk of your business to come from?
Everyone.
Everywhere?
I would like for it to come from where I live, but
Mhm. Okay.
but is it enough? You have to be involved in enough. You gotta have enough people, right?
You do have to be involved in enough. However, whenever you pick your pillar or your target audiences, it doesn't have to just be one. So for mine, whenever I first started here as an agent 3.5 years ago, almost 4 years ago now, my target audience, it took me 4 or 5 months to get to this point where I knew exactly who my target audience was. And it was business owners in downtown Canton, not all of Canton, not Cherokee County, not Northeast Georgia or North Georgia, North Atlanta. It's not North Atlanta. It's not just the Cherokee.
I was doing it first.
Mhm.
Buckhead cleaners, different places I was going, Brides by Lori, different places I was at that I knew people within Buckhead. So you can do that as well. So I didn't know that would be, I was looking for charity.
Yeah, you could do anything. So for you, you've already got, reputation with these other business owners. Why don't you spotlight them? Interview and ask them one basic question. This is all you ever have to ask them.
Mhm.
There might be some follow-up questions accordingly, but all you have to ask them is, why did you decide to get this place started?
What made you open a business in Buckhead and what made you open cleaners?
Yeah. And they'll tell you why. They'll tell you the story because they know the answer to it. So sometimes your business owners are going to be like, oh gosh, like you got to send me the list of questions so that I'm prepared. No, they know the answer. You're going to be asking them questions that you don't know the answers to, but they do. Why did you decide to start up a cleaning shop?
It's not a volunteer, so that's why I got it mixed up. So I do the interview, I have done interviews, on
Mhm.
one interview, I just haven't put it on social media.
I'm gonna come after you for that.
I will not give you what I need to, but she interviewed with me, but you're saying volunteer charities.
You could, if that's what you want it to be.
Just a way to get involved.
Just
So not
get
one
involved.
volunteer.
Just involved in the community somehow. So for instance, Casey Sears, his target audience is gamers, is nerds, is what he likes to call them. So he does everything that he can be or that he can do to be involved in that community. There are gamers all over the place. They're not just in Kennesaw where he lives. So he's everywhere. So what are your target audiences and how can you be involved? And then take that a step further. How can you be involved on social media?
That's the big one. I think that's the good part. That's it.
Mhm. So Tracy, you've put together this group for Snellville Living, is that what it's called? So Snellville Living is kind of like becoming the bulletin board of Snellville. So it's not a part of the city. It's not a part of the downtown authority. It's her group, and it's all questions and things that are happening in Snellville. Her name and face is on everything when it comes to that site. So in Cherokee County where I live, it's called Cherokee Connect. A very similar page to what Tracy has got. So that was started by an insurance agency, just a local, like a local insurance building with like 4 or 5 agents in there. And it is now full. It's like, I don't even know how many thousands of people are on there now. And so much business comes out of Cherokee Connect that like, I can't even like. So that's how my name got out so big in Cherokee County where I live, is because of Cherokee Connect with my dance stuff. So people now know me whenever I walk in. I used to walk into the grocery store and people will say, hey, I've seen your real estate videos. Now I walk in the grocery store, they're like, hey, you're the red boots girl. So your target audience can change. So for social media, my target audiences would be downtown Canton business owners and my dance community that I have built. So I have become the go-to social media page for dancers, for line dancers and country dancers. So how can you become?
So once you do that, so the idea is just to kind of pull, they're following you, get to know you.
They get to know you and they get to like you. As soon as you walk in the grocery store, they're like, no, that's tomorrow. We haven't met yet, but she's gonna help me buy a house. You want those conversations happening.
I just haven't done.
And I know you're new here and there's a whole bunch being thrown at you and you're expected to absorb 100% of what's thrown at you. Totally kidding. So there's a lot that's coming at you. So I want you to like listen and absorb what you can and pick through the pieces that we've got happening all of this the exact same time. Make them yours. Make them yours. So take notes as you're taking your classes here, and you just like, you know what? I think I want to dive into implementing this piece into my business.
Yeah, I mean, just listening to you guys talking, I tried doing things like joining groups, but I think my disconnect was how to bridge it with real estate if it doesn't have anything to do with real estate.
That's awesome if it has nothing to do with real estate.
Right.
Because everything does have to do with real estate. Everybody likes to live indoors that I know of.
So it's just a matter of them finding out or knowing that you do it,
Right.
you know.
So
all
you would
of
become,
this,
where do you live at?
Norcross.
Okay, so you're in Norcross. Is there a community page on like Facebook that is like the go-to bulletin board for anything that you need to know about Norcross? Hey, what are the events happening? Hey, why is there construction happening at this, roundabout that's going in? Like, what's the deal with that? What's the opening or what's the projected timeline for that to be completed? Do you have anything like that?
I think there is, because I did find out about like the whole historic Norcross part, because that was the area that I noticed that people really tend to gather. There's always happenings there. There's always music festivals in the summer, music like every Friday, and, food trucks and stuff like that in downtown Duluth as well.
So so Duluth and for Norcross, because they're close together. They're very close. Then you've got Brookhaven that's right there too. You're kind of sandwiched in between. So there's a lot that's happening there. You can be an active member in that group on Facebook. You just answer every single person's question. Hey, I'm looking for a plumber. Hey, great. Let me get you in touch with so-and-so. If you can become hey, I got a guy girl, that's who you want to be. That's how you take advantage of those groups. And then you're referring business over to those other business owners, which then in turn, those business owners are gonna remember you because you thought of their business. And that's important to them. They go into, say you referred that plumber over to do a job, and they go in there and they do that. They talk to the homeowner, they're like, yeah, we were thinking about selling, but you know what, like, we've got this pipe issue and we've got to get that resolved before we can ever do anything. Then that plumber is like, you know what? I was referred over to you guys. Let me reach out to the real estate agent that sent me over here. If you can become that person for the Norcross area, what would that do to your business? What would that do?
That's true. I had reached out to a contract was referred to me for some work some clients were doing. They were living in inspection on a home. And so the normal guy I used wasn't available. So this guy came in and he's just been like, connected ever since, which is really cool. So last week he referred me to someone who's looking to list their home in Atlanta and wants to come out and look at the house. So that might be a potential opportunity right there.
There you go.
If you made that connection, so.
Getting attached to the other business owners that also go into the same homes that you want to sell.
Yeah.
So getting in touch with them on the Facebook group, referring out their business, then in turn brings business to you. It's the long game, but it works. It works. You don't get into real estate for quick money. Yes, you do want quick money. You want closings now, you want closings later.
Right.
But the more like referral business that you can get through fellow business owners, oh my gosh, it just builds and builds and builds. And if you can become that person that's like, oh, no, Tracy, she knows Snellville like the back of her hand. She knows everything and everybody in Snellville. If you could do that for Norcross, if you could do that for Buckhead, and where do you live at? You're in Alpharetta. If you can become that person for Alpharetta, wow. You can be hey, I got someone for you. I'm gonna send him over this afternoon person.
That's right.
All right, so what hurdles are you running into on social media? Besides I just gotta film it and I just gotta record it and I gotta make sure that the lighting is perfect.
And your mic is turned on.
And your mic is turned on. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Besides those things, what's holding back from your posting, from posting relevant content? Are you looking for ideas to post? Like what's holding you back? Or are you holding yourself back?
For me, it's the editing time.
Editing time? Mhm.
I think that's the part that I create the most, because it's gonna take me to edit it.
All right, so like, are you talking about like 2-3 minute reels, or are you talking about like 90-second embedded video?
So what do you recommend for that editing? She mentioned that when she came, what was her name? It's a particular app that you can use to edit. What do you recommend for editing, quick editing?
Non-spoken videos.
No, spoken, like reels.
Spoken?
If I do anything, it'll probably do that.
I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head, but it will listen to your entire video and it will chop it into the middle. So if you record vertical or record horizontal and you're standing here in the middle, what it'll do is it'll chop off the side and it'll put the captions across, but it'll take your 10-minute long video and pull together certain clips that you have said that makes sense. So it takes a little bit to do it and it does cost money, but it will do it and it'll put it into a 45-second, minute-long reel for you. You've got captions. That the only thing about the captions is that it only puts it in one of 3 places: the very top, the very middle, or the very bottom. And it kind of drives me crazy because a lot of times your face is in like the middle-ish, so you can't put the text over your face and you can't put it on top because then it's not going to show up on TikTok and it's not going to show up on Facebook. And you can't put it at the bottom because then you know, if you put the words in, you know, where it's at for Instagram, you have the words here, but you're chopped off at the nose. It drives me crazy. So that's the only caveat with it. So if you want to, you can don't download it through that app, you know, the paid one. I can't remember off the top of my head what it's called. But you can download it from there without the captions, then go into the captions app where you can do all the like the emojis and the moving graphics and stuff. I'm telling you, you have a fire hose of water coming at you right now. There's a lot of information being thrown at you. Yeah.
Just like the time that it takes first of all to even grasp what it is you have to do and understand how to operate the app. And then maybe 20 mistakes before you do it, have to start over. It's a lot.
It is a lot. It is a lot, and it does take time to do it. So, but how do you eat an elephant? I don't suggest eating an elephant, but it's one bite at a time.
Yeah.
One bite at a time. So 3.5, almost 4 years ago, whenever I first joined here, I spent a lot of time. Didn't make a whole lot of money, but I spent a lot of time in learning how to make videos and, the cuts and the splices and what this app will do, and then what this other app can add to it if I record here first and then go here. So I spent a lot of time in doing that. So what we can work on, so what these huddles are supposed to be for is like, bring your projects here to Huddle. We'll work on it together. If you're really brave, we'll throw your screen up here on the projector and we'll work on it together from there.
I think also for me, what's interesting to me is, since I haven't started, I want to start. So basically, you remember when she said you can take your Instagram, Facebook, and all of them and post it at the same time? I would be interested in that. See, that's my forte. I wouldn't want to sit and do that, even though Instagram and Facebook are connected, I think. But I want it to where it literally takes me 10 minutes to, once I post it one time, boom, 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 boom. And I want to learn.
And
that.
Buffer will do that. Are you gonna be here
Yeah.
tomorrow?
Yeah.
Are you gonna be here tomorrow?
Yeah.
Okay, tell you what, let's work on Buffer tomorrow. So bring your laptops tomorrow and we'll work on your Buffer accounts. I think Tracy, we've already set yours up, right? Okay. You love it? Okay. Are you using it regularly?
Yes.
Okay. It is one of those apps that I think, Atticus, you've asked me about Buffer as well.
Yeah.
So if you can be here tomorrow, we're gonna do a live demonstration of Buffer and getting everything set up in Buffer. Yeah, so we'll do that.
Look for values with his videos, because he'll bring other footage or something like that.
Just like B-roll and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, he's got an app. I'd have to go ask him what it is.
Now they know.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. What else you got?
I told you when I asked you about the link tree.
Uh-huh.
And then it's all the tree that you guys do.
So I call it Canva tree because it looks like Linktree, but it's made in Canva. So it's a household name. It's not it's not known outside of here because we've talked to outside vendors and they're like, "A what?" And I'm like, "No, it's here in-house." So it looks like Linktree, looks very similar. It still has the same, clickable buttons and stuff, but it's called Canva tree. Or I call it a Canva tree, but in Canva, it's called a bio link. But I know you're wanting to dive in and look at that. However, with Maxa coming out on Wednesday, we've got some templates within Maxa that you could use that it's going to do the same thing. So it's like, yes, I know you want to jump into it and do it. However, we're just about to launch it. So yes, we can do it in Canva tree or in Canva, but in just 2 days, we're gonna be able to do it ourselves. It's a lot of fun.
You got a lot of knowledge.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome.
As far as content ideas, sometimes, I look at other recruiters and I see what they do.
And they're like, call me if you want to buy or sell a house. The market's great.
No, I definitely believe in, that value thing. I don't like it to be about me. It really has to be about what you think your buyer needs or your target buyer, if you pick one, ever, not only your target buyer needs. And it needs to be the questions that are swirling in their heads, the stresses that they have swirling in their heads. That's the thing I guess I need to find out. I need to know.
Yeah.
Or what I think it is could be yes, or it may not.
Yeah.
So those are the things.
So Valency and I, like, I sense that we've got very similar hearts where we're very others first. So we'll take care of everybody else, but inside we're like, oh gosh, like there's so many things to do. So I feel like you and I are very similar in that way. So on helping others first, let's use that as a tool to project your business forward. So reaching out to and spotlighting other businesses, like shine the light on somebody else. Like, hey, you know what? I've been coming to this dry cleaner for the past 3 years and I've never even had a conversation with the owner. Like, why do they have a cleaning shop? Why did they decide to open up a mom and pop ice cream shop? Why did they decide to open up a clothing boutique? Like, why? There's a reason. You don't know the answer, but they do. And as soon as you ask somebody who they are as a business owner and why they started it, they just open up. They open up because they start talking about their vision. They start talking about where they want to go, you know, like how far they've come from like the first idea of opening up this ice cream shop. And now here it is, it's in real life. And these are all the different flavors that we have. And you know what, those who have gluten and dairy sensitivities, you know what, we've got this option too. So it's, they light up as soon as you ask them that question. So I feel like you're the type of person you like to pour into others. You're pouring into others. So by doing a business spotlight, you're pouring into others. And you're also advertising yourself. Because you're gonna post this video.
Yeah, I'm posting, post that video as, you know, the realtor that I am, or.
No,
No.
nope. You close this like, hey, if you're ever in the mood for some ice cream, come check it out. They're at 123 Main Street in this town. You know, come check them out. You don't ever say anything about real estate. You just happen to be wearing your Century 21 name tag, and that's it. It's posted on your pages. People know that you're a real estate agent because they see your page. But you go and you post it on social media, and then you tag them, you tag the business, they share it on their pages. You just reach their audience as well. Yep. If you just start with one and see how you feel about it, and then reach out to the next business. Reach out to the next business like, hey, we just did this video. I would love the opportunity to do one for yours. Just takes 10 minutes of your time. Anything else? No? Be here tomorrow at 1:30 and we're gonna do buffer.
Okay.
Yep.
Very cool.
There used to be another, or something that went to that was supposed.
It's Hootsuite, but there are more free capabilities within buffer than Hootsuite.
Because I knew that I thought I would do something that I tried to tweet and I didn't understand it, so. I didn't bother.
You can also use the Meta Business Suite as well.
But this was a while ago.
Yeah.
It's just.
I got you. Got you.
Oh, wow. It's like a minefield of, and every time you look, it's changing. It's something, it changes. This was just like this was last week, you know, and if you don't go back a month, in a month, it could be different.
Mhm. Well, there's that saying, nothing, what's it? Nothing's, or the only thing that ever stays the same is change or something like that.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about? The only thing that stays the same is everything changes. All right, let's get to work. You're welcome.